All right, you guys, this is Anatomy Bar Talk, where we raise the bar so you live the best life that you can. And today we are going over the fitness relationship link with relationship expert Sheldon. As you guys already know, my name is Johnny Burgess, 10-year fitness coach, and we have Sheldon on the line. Sheldon, please introduce yourself.
Hey guys, how is it going? This is your cousin from Jamaica. My name is Sheldon Wright. My gym name, however, is Mr. Bond, Mr. Big Overnight. And my philosophy on relationships for men, because I'm a relationship and dating coach for men, is so learn how to become the king before you get the kingdom to rule.
I like it. I like it. Learn how to become the king before you get the kingdom to rule. It's like don't put the carriage before the horse. You gotta get your stuff in order first, and then you can have the riches after. That makes sense. Um,
Absolutely.
I wish I'd heard that years ago when I was doing my foolishness, but better late than never. So the fitness relationship link, right?
Right.
I 100% believe there's a correlation between the two, but before I give my part, I wanted to allow you to share your experience in that department before, and then we can segue from there. Do you have any history or you have clients that have had
Right.
fitness issues in the relationships that you probably have a bunch of experience. So let me know what your thoughts are on it.
Well, for me, it's a bit easier to talk because I've been building my first sports management company for 13 years. And during that whole experience, we meet a lot of persons in the fitness and the sports space who do have relationship issues. And it was until, first of all, I used to be a deacon of the church my father pastors for 6 years. I'm a PK. So I get roasted all the time for this and that. And so I didn't want to make much mistakes where marrying the wrong woman is concerned. You know what I mean? Because you got family looking on you, you got people in his ministry looking on you, and it was a very hard life. But I did what I could do to learn as old as I could get, which was my first ex-fiance was when I was 31. And I've almost been married 4 times now. A lot of people are like, oh my God, that's so crazy. That's a lot of red flags. But what I've learned is that there is lessons in failure. You understand?
100%.
And if only men would understand that it's still a journey. My father would always say, learn how to become a man before you become a husband and a father. Fortunately, in most societies in the West, a lot of men, they want to be the daddy first. Then they want to learn how to be a man. And it's very unfortunate because I have so much value now. And I proposed to my fiance now, presently, last year. And I said to myself that all the things I went through was preparing me to become a man for this type of woman.
Mm.
And I met her in the gym, funnily enough. I see there is a direct correlation between the fitness space and opportunities to meet a woman who you can feel as though she could be the one or someone who potentially to date. They're not all 3 or 4s, as the red pill community like to say. Not all women are bad. You just need relationship skills and the ability to discern, to be wise, how to know these kind of woman from that type of woman, which is what I talk about on my channel on YouTube. But I'm grateful for this opportunity to talk with you, Johnny, and helping men to raise the bar because they need to appreciate themselves more and just try to work on yourself more. You know what I mean? You don't got to chase women. That's ultimately what I teach. If you honestly know how women operate, you really don't have to chase women. Because when we chase something, it's suggesting that you're putting yourself in a weaker position.
Right.
And the other thing that you're chasing is more valuable. And unfortunately, we as men, we learn it too late that when we chase someone, they don't tend to treat us very well. You have to be very mindful and careful of these concepts. I would rather say this: get what the cat wants instead of chasing the cat, and the cat will never run away. That's it.
That's real. That's real. I know you definitely hit some points that I would love to touch on. from me and my personal experience, I've more or less always had a girlfriend. So I don't know if I'm like, anyway, I've
Right.
always had a girlfriend. So I'm like high school, middle
Yeah.
school, whatever. But I was not always fit. I was fit. I played soccer. I was always slim and trim, but I was always super skinny, like a rail.
Oh, really? I would never know,
Skinny,
bro. I would never
MAGA,
know.
just
What? Wow.
100 pounds, 130 pounds soaking wet. I've always been into fitness. I've always been fit, but at the point where I started to get the frame that I wanted, I started to notice a difference. So when I started lifting weights, having like good shoulders, a good posture, and that level of confidence that allows me to pursue and not chase, but pursue something. But if it's
Right.
not working, I can be like, all right, cool. Now, this is where I messed up when I was younger. I've always had attractive women in my life, right? However, it wasn't until I started only dating women that I met at the gym that things started to change because I've always valued health. I've always valued health and fitness, and I would have girlfriends that didn't like working out, and working out is like a big part of my identity,
Right.
essentially. Right? For me, it was really important. Every girlfriend I could think of it, every girlfriend that did not work out, we
Mhm.
just didn't align on a lot of things. A lot of things we just didn't align with. And to your point, there is no bad woman or anything else. It's just a matter of, like you said, positioning yourself so that she wants to stay around or so that she wants to fit your frame. Because I remember I heard this analogy,
Mhm.
whoever the better dreamer is wins, right? And
Wow. It's a good
I
one.
think I think that was actually Dave Chappelle. I think it was Dave Chappelle. So anyway, the whole
Okay.
concept is you are living your dream just like how I'm living my dream, just like how she's living her dream. However, some dreams are
Mhm.
manifested better than others. To your point, if you have what the cat wants, if you have the good body, if you have the nice house, if you have the car, whatever it is, women are just going to come to you like, oh, he got a nice car. Oh, he look good.
Bro.
So in that
Yeah.
aspect, you don't have to chase. You need to work on yourself. Like you said, you become the king of yourself, and then the
Yeah.
kingdom will kind of come around you. I would love for us to segue this into how men can become the king of themselves so that they can have the kingdom. With your expertise, what do you say the first steps are? If you could put it in like 3 steps, what would
Okay.
you say the first 3 steps should be for a man to become a man and then
Mhm.
become the king, have the kingdom?
Well, the first thing with becoming a king, Ajan, is you have to learn how to have respect for yourself. You know what I mean? And king and men are not the same. A lot of people don't understand the two dynamics. There's a difference. Just like how there's a difference between a boyfriend and a husband. You have to understand what is it that you greatly envision for your life. Once you can see the vision, because even with money, even with women or opportunities, you have to see it here first. Like we as personal trainers, we're trying to help clients to get to a certain level. We gotta paint that image in their mind that this is what you can become if you put
Mhm.
in the work. This is where you could go if you did the work. These are some of the things that we understand that if you as a man, first step is one, appreciating yourself, having respect for yourself. That in a nutshell would tell you that you need to like believe that am I where I want to be right now? Am I doing the things I want to do right now? A lot of people they give into peer pressure, they give into other person's image of them. Even we are all victims of even parents. Our
Mhm.
parents want us to do a certain thing, but we have our own vision, our own idea of where we want to get to. And when you can figure that part out, then that's a whole literal half of the journey. You just won. You know what I mean? The next part is how do you support yourself? How do you make money? Because unfortunately, we live in a world where everything revolves around money. I'm not saying to worship it or set it up as an idol, but you have to understand money and how it works. And there are different ways of getting money. A lot of people they just don't know. When you're on your journey to learning how you're going to support yourself, you need to study, you need time to develop. Because the reality is, women preach it all the time. They don't like broke guys. And even me as trying to become a husband one day, there's so many things that women go through where they need a strong masculine man. And if you're not understanding of those needs of a woman, then you're not ready for a relationship. You shouldn't even try to be with them in the first place. Women are not for boys, women are for men. There are levels to this. If you're going to become a king, you must know the type of life you're trying to live. And it's okay if you don't get to the level of a king, but just be a responsible man. You know what I mean? Have respect for yourself, get the finances in order. And then we move to the next third part is basically saying, how is it that you're going to cultivate this woman now that you're able to attract her? How you're going to make her fit in to your life? Because the reality is not every woman is for you. I know a lot of men like the idea that's going around now about having multiple chicks, but bro, I'm telling you, some of these women, they will run you over if you don't know what you're doing. When men go through certain things, certain struggles, certain understanding, they become better men.
Mhm.
They know how to handle a woman. And women in their own right, they're at different levels too. And some of them are on their own journey, their own purpose. And sometimes when you get together with them, you might collide with their own mission. And where they are is not where you and them don't align. My fiance is 12 years younger than me. And there are many reasons for that. And I'm very attracted to her. She's very attracted to me. She treats me as her king. And some of the things that I've noticed is that if it were not for me going after my mission, I would not be ready to take care of a woman like this. I would not be ready to paint a picture for her to show her the life that we're trying to live and give her each other, or me, how I'm going to provide for her and protect her. You have to be aware of those three main things: respect for yourself, how you're going to support yourself, and lastly, what is the vision that you're going to have for you and your special person. If you can get those basic things together, I promise you, you could have a great life.
That was
Yeah.
very well said. And I really like how you said there's levels, right? Because that's one concept that I'm on, like my own spiritual journey. And ever since I started that journey, and even with like raise the bar, there's levels. Wherever you're at, just go to the next level. Don't, like you said, you don't have to become a king overnight. But if you have that scope of, oh, this is how I was when I was 18, this is how I was when I was 21, this is how I was when I was 25, and I'm just getting
Right.
better, leveling up and understanding it's a process. It's not an overnight thing. It's not a flip of the switch, though it can be. But
I know my name is Mr. Big Overnight, but it's not overnight. I'm sorry.
at the end of the day, it's
Yeah.
a process. You know what I'm saying? You got to do step by step by step, raise the bar, step level up. And that's what we're here to do for you guys, help you level up in your life and relationships. Really quick, let's dive into how exactly we can mold that version of yourselves. You have to have the vision, and it's actually the exact same step for fitness, because I believe that there's parallels with everything in life, whether it's money, fitness, relationships. You got to start with what you want. What's the vision, right? Then you got to have a plan.
Right.
You're going to get there, right? Then you got to execute that plan step by step by step, and then eventually the time will come and go, and you will have been either you have done the steps, you've done the work so that you can see the results that you want, or you didn't, right? For me personally, and kind of coming back to what you were saying, I've definitely pursued the multiple women thing. I had a fiance and we had a girlfriend, and
Right.
it was all fun and games until it wasn't, right? So careful what you wish for, because that was gonna be the other part of it. Because I know a lot of us, or just me speaking for myself, but I think other people might be able to relate, just want. And there's nothing wrong with wanting. That's kind of why we are here on earth, to want and to pursue and to achieve.
Mhm.
However, everything that you want comes with a cost, right? I
Absolutely.
I always wanted
Absolutely.
the most baddest joints with the nice waist, and you know what I mean? Now, here's the issue with that. Here's the issue with that. And I was just
Right.
reflecting on it the other day. The women who are extremely attractive, and this is a general statement, this is not a blanket statement, a general statement, is they will be pursued by a lot of other men. Now, that's not an issue. However, when you have a woman who's 18 in incredible shape, let's call her a 10. She's going to be
Mhm.
pursued by men in her age group, all the way up to the other men who are 50 years old, 40 years old, 30 years old, some with nice cars, some with the house, some with
Absolutely.
business. And so you're going to be competing against all those people. It's like in her mind, she has that scope of prosperity. Look at all these men who want me. I can pick and choose. And if you
Oh
don't
man, just think
take
about
me
that.
out, if you're not giving me money for my nails, I can go find someone else who can, right? Now, lucky for me, though I was dating these women, I always had a job. I was always making money. I always had a car. So I always
Mhm.
kind of fit their frame somewhat, but I was always like the same age as them, right? Had that, oh, I've experienced more than you, or I have whatever it is where
Absolutely.
that level of respect is there. They kind of, in my scope, saw me as like the same eye level as where they're at. And
Right.
we as men want someone who can fit, like you said, fit into our frame, fit into our vision, not them, not us
Mhm.
fit into their vision. They
Yeah,
get to fit into our vision, right?
absolutely.
And quick story, I had a fiance, an ex-fiance, and prior to moving in with her, I had like 25,000 in the bank. And at the time, I was saving up to get a house, but she was in a situation, yada, yada, yada. Basically, we ended up moving in together and 25,000 was gone, basically.
Wow.
Had to get a
Wow.
house, down payment, furnishing, everything
Mhm.
else. I took that as an L, as a learning experience, right?
Yeah.
Where we're no longer together. It was a fun experience. It had its ups and downs, but I'm back to where I need to be so that I can get what I truly want.
Thank
And
God you made it, bro.
right, dodge the
Mhm.
bullet. I'm at the point now where I'm like, look, whoever I'm dating, this is my vision. I am not deviating it for anyone, right?
Absolutely.
You can either fit with it or we can just be friends. And I just have to let them decide for themselves. But I
Mhm.
have tunnel vision at this point. I I'm not deviating from my plan, my vision, because it's my world, my dream, and I should be the
Mhm.
one to realize it. For all the guys watching this, stick to your dream, stick to your goals, don't deviate from it. There will
Mhm.
be other opportunities. Women come and go. I know it sounds bad, but it's the truth. And
Absolutely.
so let's jump into how we can explore a healthy lifestyle and enhance the relationship or dynamic between a man and a woman. I used to tell my clients, a couple that works out together stays together. If you live together, you'll live together, right?
Right.
Because I feel like when you can both value your health and fitness and have that level of this is a baseline of what we do, this is you, I feel like you end up getting a little bit more respect in terms of, oh wow, this guy's disciplined, right? But let me
Mhm.
allow you to jump in. What are your thoughts on
Yeah,
that?
definitely. I agree that that would definitely be a major thing that could help couples if they would want to find a way how to get their health and fitness under control. It helps your overall health, mentally, spiritual, physical, obviously. Because you see, even though I'm in America, my lady in Jamaica, I make sure she has that a part of her lifestyle, fitness. One of my business partners, he is a physiotherapist, and I would say, sweetheart, you need to do some work with him. He's a personal trainer as well, so I want her to train with him. He has massage therapy. Massage therapy is like a bonus for working out because you see, a lot of people don't understand what's going on with each other, and the fitness kind of can help them to understand themselves, heal themselves and their own problems, and they're figuring it out together. It's not an issue. If your partner is not interested in fitness, it's going to be like bucking, pulling teeth from a horse. It's going to be problematic because if you're in shape, your partner is not in shape, one is going to have issues eventually with each other. You're looking good, you're on your goals, but you're not. And then the resentment comes in.
Let me quickly jump in because that's you hit the nail on the head, bro. Quick two stories. I remember my first serious girlfriend, we had like lived together. She'd never liked working out. She hated it, but
Mhm.
she had the shape, right? But I was like,
Right.
yo, doubt though, like you'd be blah
You
blah
already know.
blah, right? So she never wanted to work out. I was always working out. I had a six pack, looking good. and she started to not look as good as when we first met. It's just
Hmm.
time is going to make that happen.
Right.
And eventually it was like, yo, why do you work out so much? Why are you always
Hmm.
working out? Da 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 da
Hmm.
da. And at your point is you start to see that imbalance of now we were both here when we first met, but now he's getting more attractive, and now I gotta compete with all the women looking at
Yeah.
him.
Who you working out for? Is it some lady?
Women can sabotage you in that regards because
Yeah.
they don't want to compete with other women. Women aren't competitive like men are. They want
Yeah.
you. That's why some women say they like the dad bod because they like, oh, he's easy. He can't, I'm the hot one in the relationship. He can't go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Careful when some women like, oh, I like the pudgy guys. I like the dad bods because at the end of the day, I always see that as a sabotaging statement where
Yeah.
it's like, oh, because no one's gonna say, oh, I like the broke dudes. Why would you, know what I'm saying? Why would you not want your man to be at his highest level? That was the first part. The second part
I see.
is when I met my other ex, who I met at the gym. We hit it off really well because we were both working out. I'm saying we both looked good, and we actually had a really long relationship, but she had like her own past issues and this and that and the third. But I just wanted
Right.
to quickly drop those little points about the dynamics that can be at play about some women not really being about it, and how that can eventually, to your point, cause issues.
Absolutely. And there's just something in women that, unfortunately, not all of them have good self-esteem, good self-confidence, and they may interpret your behavior as something working against them, when in actuality, you're doing that activity to be a better man for them. But you
Mm,
see, this is why you have to have these conversations with a partner. And unfortunately, not a lot of them, they understand some things because you don't know her background, you don't know where she's coming from, you don't know how she's been dealt with by some men. When she comes around a man like you who thinks positively and tries to do the things necessary to make life easier for her, unfortunately, if she is not a well thinking person, she may just have the wrong impression. And that's where the sabotage comes in. That's where the accusations comes in. And it's unfair. And unfortunately, until women and men they are able to communicate in a respectful, positive way, then we will have better relationships amongst one another. And then the woman can understand, no, my man or my future husband, he's trying to get better to take care of me and our family. He's working his ass off because he wants to make sure that if any threat, that's the next thing that they don't think about. If any threat comes into our life, any issue comes into our life, he can handle it. He got us. Until women think like this, then they're going to have issues all the time. Because I've noticed, especially with women who have no self-esteem, they come from a certain, hard background, they don't see the benefits and the positivity in some things like fitness and health. And unfortunately, I have noticed in my experience that amongst the Black community, they don't train, they don't exercise enough, and they have all this low self-esteem, and they see health and fitness as, oh, that's just a white man thing. That's just a Asian man thing. No, this is not no race thing. This is something that you need to appreciate. Health is for everybody. Fitness is free. You can walk, you can jog on your own without coming to the gym. But until people understand this, then they unfortunately are going to interpret it as a threat. No, you're trying to look good for Susie. You're trying to get better for Jasmine over there. I see how you look at her. And it's a very challenging experience. But we as men, we gotta settle our ladies. Nah, babe, it's not like that.
that's
Get your mind right.
that's real. And I love that you brought up having difficult conversations, which we could probably have a whole nother talk about. We'll come full circle to that. If you guys want to have us talk about difficult conversations, put it in the comments and make sure you're still watching and comment and subscribe. When it comes to, you were saying people's scope on health and fitness and saying it's for other certain people or it's not in my culture, that's all BS, because if you ask 99% of the people, they will say health is wealth. If you ask anyone, is health wealth? They will say yes. But of the people who actually partake
They
in
don't
it,
believe it.
it's a very unfortunate situation. That's why we're
Yeah.
here. That's why we're here to try to enlighten the community, enlighten the masses, because there's so many benefits to being healthy beyond just looking good, living long for your family, being able to not have back pain, shoulder pain, knee pain, be able to go up a flight of steps without losing your breath.
Mm.
And then even sexual issues. Like I've had a bunch of,
Ah,
yo, I got some issues with my
right,
guy because you don't work out, your testosterone is low, you have this
right.
crap diet. It's of course
Yep.
it's gonna mess with your circulation, but
There you
that's why
go.
we're here. We need to lead people the way and get them to see the reality of the world and be able to take advantage of the opportunity they have now. What would you say are maybe three actionable steps that someone could take if they're in a relationship now to start to see a better life?
Definitely, fitness and health is priority. Unfortunately, I don't think everybody even has the money to pay for health insurance all the time. When I was coming up and I was broke, and I realized that I needed a way how to still be strong and healthy enough to get to a job because I had to walk all the time. And I was fortunate I found this gym, and the owner allowed me to train there. It was in Jamaica, Spanish Town, and it was like all the trainers were just monsters. It was a small gym, but the
Mm,
trainers were very good. And one of them invited me to just train, just try it out. And that gym saved my life. As I said, that's where I met my fiance. And I recognized that if persons would try to learn, because what you don't know hurts you. And if they would try to get the right information, and I credit my Christian upbringing and background to having the right information or operating from an informed position. You see, a lot of people they don't know that when you're broke, you can't afford certain food. So you try to just have enough money to eat certain meals that will still keep you through the day. And the exercising, the lifting weights, it helps. And after a while, mentally, you're going to do a lot better because I was a high school teacher, but I lost my job. And the fitness world, the gym saved my life. Even though I was a competitive sportsman, the fitness world saved my life. I am very grateful for it. That's why I kind of fought to learn more about it. And now that I'm in school studying with Clean Health online, which I'm doing, the school is based in Australia, by the way, and I'm studying online. And this is what persons can just get under control first. Find a way. If you can't find a gym, find a fitness program. Find something on the internet you can do on your own. You don't gotta find millions of dollars to pay people like us if you can't afford it, even though you don't mind it. But just saying, it would help you get that under control. Next is there has to be a moment of self-discovery. You have to find the opportunity where you want to get to know about yourself. Who are you? What do you really value? What is your purpose in life? And if you can steady on that journey, because you're going to have losses, but the purpose is going to help you to build a character. And the things you do in private will eventually become public. These are some of the things I had to learn coming up in life. And it served me well. If I had a bad attitude and a bad character, I would not be where I am at today. Sometimes you have to learn how to have a humble spirit, a respectful spirit, and doors will open up for you. But you see, if you adopt some of the ways of other people, nobody's coming to help you. And people like to say that, oh, you have to save yourself. Oh, bro, I will kid you not. God sent some strangers in my life to help me on my journey as a man and as an entrepreneur. And, I am now studying to be a personal trainer and I'm a sports agent as well. And if these people didn't come in my life, I don't know if I would be here today. If it's in your good attitude and your good character, you're going to attract good people who are just going to help you along your path. And you're going to be so surprised and you're going to say, no, man, God did it. I'm telling you. And
that's
then
powerful.
lastly, And lastly, you just have fun with it. Some things you don't got to take too seriously. You're late for work, you lose your job. Maybe it wasn't just for you. If I didn't lose my job, I would not have been a businessman today. If I didn't lose my job, I wouldn't be able to build a company that would make me more valuable today. So sometimes we look at bad things as negative. Sometimes bad things happen, but good things can come out of that bad thing. Don't take it too seriously. Don't try to kill yourself. Don't try to get depressed or anxious. Just say, it's a part of my journey. And you're going to take it and you're going to learn from it. And I promise you, you're going to be looking back on that day and you're like, wow, I survived that. Look
That's
where I am now.
powerful. Dude,
Yes, sir.
I can't think of a better way to conclude today's talk. I think that was perfect, right on the money. Giving yourself the grace to just go through the process and breathe
Absolutely.
and embrace it and not just move forward. Don't hang on to it. Don't hold it. Don't hold that hot ember. Let it go. Just let it
Yeah,
be,
man.
man. Because like I've had relationships and I was like, oh, I'm gonna go drive off a bridge. That's it. And it happens, bro. People get
Yeah.
depressed. It's a
Yep.
part of life. But when we can have that scope of like, this is just a day, tomorrow is another day, next month is another month, you don't have to hold on and be in that same state of mind for very long. You said it best. I'm not going to try to do too much on top of that. This, I think, was a fantastic talk, one of many hopefully to come in the future. If you guys have any questions, comments, put it in the comments below, subscribe, and make sure you stay tuned for our next episode where we will be talking a little bit more in depth on topics like this. Till then, let's raise the bar.
Thank you, brother.
Likewise. Talk to you guys soon.
All right.